Hello people, I'm not doing my usual kind of exciting kind of intro because I'm tired. I'm a little bit tired, I can't lie. Been, busy recently with life, life, that annoying thing that we all have to do. Yeah, that. But anyway, today I wanted to tell you about something that's really important to me. Actually, it's kind of like my entire viewpoint on life. So I'm starting off this new series called My Crazy Mind, and in each one I'm going to discuss different kind of topics and break it down from my perspective and the way that I see the world and the way that I perceive things. So this first episode here, I've just noticed my hair's a bit messed up, you know what I mean? It's not really. Anyway, so this first episode here, this one is about my theory on the way the world works, the possibilities of your life, the possible places you can end up in, the possible twists and turns that your life can take on your journey to get there. And this is my theory on literally everything, like every day when you wake up, life. This is my theory, and it's called the theory of constant variables. So it's the theory of constant variables, and basically I believe that your life, my life, everybody's life is a constant variable. So what that means is basically things are constantly changing, constantly. So for example, a constant variable could be something, in its most extreme form is when something really small changes the future forever. And a quick example of this would be, say for example, your grandmother and your grandfather met at college, and they both were put into business class. Say for example, your grandmother said instead, no, I want to do arts. And so she never got put into the same class as your grandfather. Now, a simple decision like that at the time, your grandmother wouldn't have thought anything about it. She would have just said, yeah, I've just chosen arts instead of business. Where in that business class, she would have met your grandfather, who would have then created your parents, and then created you, and then you create your children, and they create that. So it's like everything goes on from there. So if, for example, your grandmother said, no, I don't want to do business, I'm going to do arts, or I'm going to go to a different college, something like that. A very small decision at the time has actually changed the universe forever. Forever. Like, every small decision that you make in your life changes the world forever. Like, I just want to say, for example, like Boris Johnson, one of his grandparents is actually got Turkish heritage. So if you go back to when his ancestors were living in Turkey, if the male and the female at some point in the family tree didn't meet for some simple reason, we would have a different prime minister. Like, literally, the world changes on everything. Like, another example could be something like this. Say a boy and a girl meet online because they were commenting on the same post and they got to know each other that way and started talking that way. And then they say they met eventually and had children, and that's how they met. A lot of people do meet online these days. All it would have taken was for the person who created the post originally to have not posted it, and then these people never would have met and never would have had children, and their children never would have had further children. And all of that came from one person posting a status. Like, that's crazy. Like, if you're that person sitting at home about to write a status, you're not thinking that you're about to change the course of the world forever, but you are. Because if those two people then meet on your status by commenting on the same status, and that's how they met, you've literally just changed the world. If they then go on to have children, and then their children then have children, and their children then have children, you have genuinely changed the world forever. Forever. Like for thousands of years after you die, the world is going to be different to what it would have been if you hadn't wrote that status. And when you're just sitting in your bed writing a status, you're not thinking anything about it at all, are you? No, you're not. But you could easily change the world forever, unrecognizably, just by a simple thing like that. You know? And then this is something I think that a lot of people don't quite realize when they're going about their everyday life, like the endless possibilities that are out there. Like the possibilities are literally endless. Endless. Absolutely anything could happen at any point in any day, and people get so boxed in with like you know, like routine. Like, okay, I get up, I go to work, I speak to the same people at work, I come back, I sleep, you know, I drink or whatever, and then I sleep. When it's like I don't want to get onto irrelevant topics, but it's like the world is very, very vast. Like if you were to go on like a blind date with like 3 people every single day, you would still never meet everyone. You know, like there's just so many people out there, so many different places that like it's just like the possibilities are genuinely endless. Like you can think about this, for example, like if a couple were to meet just because for example, the girl was walking through town and dropped some paperwork, and the guys come over and helped her pick it up, and then gone, hey, do you want my number? Do you want to go out on a date sometime? Like, and then they eventually got married and had kids, and then their kids had kids. Like, so her lack of grip would have caused her future grandchildren to be born. Or if that guy would have left the house 2 minutes later just because he got halfway down the road and forgot his coat. He was like, yeah, it's a bit cold, I'm going to go back to get my coat. And then it turns out when he would have met the girl that dropped her papers, he wasn't there. She just picked him up and went, and then he's walked past the area 2 minutes later. But the downside to this is that you will literally never know exactly when you're changing the world, because you only live in one reality, one universe, one kind of dimension, if you will. You know, when I feel like there are a plethora of many different alternative possibilities that are out there that you will just never know, just because obviously you can only live one life, you know what I mean? But it's like you know, you don't need to make a big decision or to directly impact the world in a big way just with one move, but you really, really are. Like I'm talking every single small, tiny decision, no matter how small it is, that you make in your life changes the world forever. It really does, I promise you. Even if you think, oh, okay, I'm going to get an extra 10 minutes in bed in the morning, this morning, because I feel a bit tired, I'm going to sleep for an extra 10 minutes. That changes the world forever. Because you've got to think about all the possibilities. If you would have woken up maybe 5 minutes before, 7 minutes before, 8 minutes before, you know, 4 minutes before, and you're driving down the road and something happens and you end up talking to someone, like anything can happen at any moment. And it's not even just you that's affecting your life and affecting everybody else's life. It's everybody else too. Like every small decision that everybody else makes changes your life forever as well. Like literally, you know? Like I know a person that actually met one of their partners at like a Britain's Got Talent audition, and it's like when you have thousands of people all in a room, the possibilities of two certain people being put next to each other are nothing, but it happens, right? you know, and the constant variables are constantly happening. I'm not sure if I've articulated this as well as I've wanted to, but like, people need to recognize that everything you do changes the world drastically, and this is why I try not to get too caught up in feelings and emotions and you know, the here and now, if you know what I mean. Just because your life can genuinely change dramatically just like that. In one day your whole life can change, and everything that used to matter to you and everything that mattered to you yesterday may no longer matter to you anymore, you know. Because when you have, I think, what, like 8, 9, 10 billion people in the world now, and all of these people are constantly making small decisions that are affecting you and affecting everybody else around them, the possibilities are infinite. They really are infinite. So this is why I try not to think, oh, you know, I'm sad. I mean, obviously everybody gets upset and has emotions. I mean, especially people that kind of think in this way, because me, it's like whilst I realize that life is great and it's a gift and it's fantastic, at the same time it's also really depressing, because it's, you know, no matter what the endless possibilities may dictate or change your life in whatever way, we all know where we end up, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's better to be oblivious, I think. But I think I've explained my theory on constant variables here rather well. Just in the fact that, you know, for example, earlier about how I mentioned the person that posted the status and the couple met on the status. You know, the person who posted the status, their Wi-Fi could have cut out. So could have the boys' Wi-Fi. So could have the girls' Wi-Fi. You know, anything could have happened in each 3 of these people's lives. You know, you have the person that posted the status here. You have the boy and you have the girl here, yeah? Like, if the guy that posted the status had some electrical problem, or he had a fire, or his girlfriend or his boyfriend called him and said, hey, I need you to go, and then that happens, boom, this relationship never happens because they don't meet on this status that is posted, right? That's the course of history, changed forever. Just because this guy who was about to post a status got a call from his partner saying you need to come and do this. And that could have also happened in the boy and in the girl's life too. Trust me. I hope I've explained this well, but I feel like I've covered it. That's my theory on constant variables, and I know I've put this in the relationship context quite a lot in this video, but I feel like that's where it makes the most sense. But obviously it does apply, well, not that it makes the most sense, but it's easier to explain. Because obviously relationships is something that everybody is naturally involved in. But obviously it applies in all sorts of ways as well. I might even do another video just to kind of update it. But yeah, that's my theory on constant variables. Thanks for listening to me. My name is Aaron. I also do rap videos under the name Lil Maisie. You just put in Lil Maisie, Lilmazzy, you'll see all my music. But yeah, thank you for listening, people, and let me know what you think about my theory. Thank you, have a good night, or have a good day, or night, wherever you are. Thanks, bye. Oh, and I wonder how me making this video has changed the world forever. Let me know. Alright, thank you. Cheers, bye bye.